Hi, I'm Celestina. I'm one of the counselors here at Floating Counseling. In January, I did a video on questions, your opinion on mental health, well-being, and we have had a few people come in, which is good, good. The one I'm going to talk about today was an article that was sent to us, and I had a reader. It was quite an interesting article. It was from an online article from Express, which is Daily Express and Sunday Express put together. Two things that jumped out at me about this article. The first one was the fact that the opinions of people that commented on the article was interesting. In the 21st century, it was interesting to read those people's opinion, which I will discuss later. But another one that jumped out to me was the research showed that 60,000 is the price tag per year on children who have mental health issues and is not dealt with. So if your child or a child that you know or anyone has mental health issues, if it's not dealt with, the price tag in the long run for the rest of their life would be £60,000 per year. And I just thought, oh my goodness, some people don't make that in a lifetime. So to think if your child is suffering from mental health or well-being issues, and if it's not dealt with, it could potentially cost you, the government or whoever, £60,000 per year if it's not dealt with straight away. So I'm not too sure why people just won't get the children help. If your child needs help, why would you then prolong it, or why would you ignore it? If in the long run, not only is it going to damage you, it's going to damage the society, because we are all connected in one way or the other. We are all energy from the same source. So I come into contact with people all the time who then go and have contact with other people. And if I'm not dealing with my issues and I'm coming into contact with other people, then that's affecting their energy, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to put up the article. I'm just going to allow the comments that people made come up so you can see it yourself, but I'm also going to read it out. So Bob at 101 said, he wrote, I'm assuming it's a he, could simply be a female, wrote, I'm going to read it. When my mother was in the last year of school in the middle of Liverpool in the early 1940s, they had to walk quickly and calmly into air raid shelters and listen to bombs blowing up houses around them. The teachers were not obsessed about the mental health of the kids, nor did they have mental health training. The kids, however, grew up into well-balanced, robust adults. So how come the kids of today are having it harder than the kids that grew up in a war zone? Question mark. And why is it social media are more damaging to the kids of today than the bombs blowing up your friends in the 1940s? Bob then sent to carry on saying that the nanostate is destroying people's lives today due to too much damaging care. It was reported on Radio 4 that some time ago, research was done in a war zone, and the children that did not receive counseling, wrong spelling Bob, the children that did not receive counseling recovered from trauma a lot better than those that did receive the counseling. Yes, Bob, 101. I do see where you're coming from, even as a counsellor. Counseling is an emotional journey, so you have your ups, you have your downs, and as humans we have good and we have bad emotions, which all comes out in counseling. Counseling really digs out all your emotions, the different varieties of all the emotions that you have in you. Counseling brings everything to the surface. All the memories that you might have dug away, that you might have tried to forget, everything really comes out in counseling, which is why it's really an emotional journey for anyone to go through. Another reason and another way I describe counseling to people is by using the analogy of when you've been living in a certain house for a number of years, there's things that you forget you even have. So when you're moving again, all those things have to come out. All those things that you buried somewhere, that you hid, or you completely even forgot you had, everything gets dug out. And when you dig things out, you come face to face with it. You can either choose to keep it, or you can choose to throw it away, or you can choose to give it to someone else. Either way, it's your choice what you do with it. That's exactly the same thing in counseling. Counseling, you dig, you bury things away, consciously or subconsciously, and in counseling, everything comes out. You're brought face to face with your past. And you have to decide what you're going to do with that memory, what you're going to do with that past, what you're going to do with that emotion that that past had and still has on you. So you have to deal with it, which is why a lot of the time it's really hard. I mean, people say moving homes is one of the hardest and stressful things for people. It's the same with counseling, because so much memory comes out when you move from one stage of life to the other, and counseling is just the same. So you're moving from one stage of your life to the other, and it's a really emotional journey. And once you've decided what baggage you're going to take into your new home, you put them in boxes. You pack them in boxes, and then you take them into your new house. But once you take them into your new house, you then have to start unpacking them again, which then takes time, which then takes a lot of energy, which then takes so much emotion. Counseling is the same thing. So once you've dug out all the memories, all the emotions that you've dug away somewhere, in counseling you come face to face with them. Once you come face to face with them and you start being aware that those things even exist, those emotions, those anger, whatever emotion it could be, whatever issue, whatever has happened in your past, once you acknowledge their existence, you then have to decide what you do with them. Keep them, throw away, give to someone else, be comfortable with the fact that that happened, but be in a place to actually accept it and actually let it be. Once you've decided, you then move into the next stage, which is again the stage of you move into your own house. And then you start unpacking. So you're now in a different stage where you're now unpacking, and that unpacking of new emotion, because you've been at a certain stage. I mean, for example, if you're a 35-year-old person, you've lived your life for 35 years. You've been in a certain place for 35 years. You've had certain habits for 35 years. And to then be in a stage where you're aware of certain negative habits or negative thoughts that you now have, you're now learning to be and to try positive thoughts, or to try positive behaviors or new things in life. That's a new stage. That is not going to happen overnight. Just like you unpacking in your new house is not going to happen overnight. It will take weeks for some people, depending on how much luggage and baggage you have and you brought into your new home. It could take months. Some people are still unpacking in their new home after years. Some people just put most of the things in the loft and just unpack the things they feel the need now, like the kitchen, the living room, the TV. Some people, that is their necessities and their clothes. And everything they just put in the loft, or put in the attic, or put in the garage, so they do not have to look at it. And then gradually they start opening it up and they start looking at it. I hope I haven't lost you with all my moving homes analogy, but I'm just trying to explain to people like Bob why counseling is such an emotional journey, and it can take weeks, it can take months, it can take years. It just depends what stage you're at, and it also depends how far you are willing to go and to open yourself, and to open yourself to changes and to positive change, and to actually face your luggage. Some people, like I said, they move into a new home and they box it up again and they shove it somewhere else in the loft, in the garage. They leave it and they try to forget it. Even though they've come face to face and they're aware that this thing exists, some people still choose to put it in a box and push it somewhere again, and that's completely their choice. That happens in counseling sometimes too. So some people are aware that they've been through a certain abuse, or whatever issue that they might have gone through in life. They're aware who the perpetrator is, they're aware how negative the impact has been on their life, but they've reached a place where they don't want to face it yet. They don't not want to look at it further. They'll rather look at other aspects of their life that they think is more important. It could be relationship, it could be anything. It could be job related, it could be anything that they want to focus on. And that's what is really interesting about counseling, and that is why it's such an emotional journey. And I really hope you understand all my analogies. If you don't, message me, and Astina from Flow to Counseling, signing out.